A superpower that successful university students use is balancing productivity and rest. This may sound easy, but there is a very specific way to do this that can guarantee you academic success. In this video, I am going to cover the 4-step method of how to balance productivity and rest in a way that is effective. My name is Lerato Anomsa of All Things Academia, where we explore and explain all things in the academic world. Balancing productivity and rest is very important for your academic journey because if you overwork yourself and not take enough rest, then you are at risk of burning out. Not only that, but you are also at risk of producing low quality work because you are working from a brain that is overworked and tired all the time. On the other hand, if you work all the time and being less productive most of the time, then you are at risk of your work piling up and you get to the point where you are overwhelmed by your work. This will cause you to still produce low quality work because you work from a point of stress and anxiety. So then your rest is as equally important as your productivity. This video is building up from the previous 2 videos that we spoke about, the enhancement of your theoretical academic skills and the enhancement of your practical academic skills. I will link these 2 videos in the description down below, so be sure to check this out later on. But in this video, I'm talking about how successful university students have found a way to combine these 2. Because at the end of the day, what matters most is not just resting, but what you do when resting. The first thing that successful university students do is balancing their rest time with their productivity, but they do not stop there. What they do next is choose activities that they will do during their rest time. So basically, successful university students don't just take rest and lie around thinking about clouds and birds and other things. But instead, what they do is they plan out their rest time as much as they plan out their productivity time. This helps them have an effective rest time that not only shuts down their mind, but actually boosts it and keep it sharp. And this we've discussed in the previous video that I've already mentioned, how you can play specific games that can help you keep your practical academic skills sharp. And this is exactly what they do. So they plan out their rest time and the activities that they will do during this rest time. This first step is mostly reliant on the second step that we're going to talk about, which is time management. Successful university students manage their time very well. And because the planning out of these activities and the planning out of their productivity time is dependent on how structured and well planned their time is throughout the day. So they know which times of the day they're productive and which times of the day they are resting, and how long their productivity period should run for and how long their rest period should run for. So if you want to be a successful student, then you must up your time management game. The most important thing that they do during this time management, it's not just setting the time of from what hour will I start studying till what hour and what time do I start resting till what hour. But what they do is they strategically place their study sessions with rest in between, followed by the next study session, rather than having a whole 3 hours straight of studying and then a whole 3 hours straight of rest. So this is alternating between the 2. This is why the next step is important, setting out which activity goes under which session. Simply, this means that these rest session activities that they do should add to their productivity somehow, whether directly or indirectly. So, for an example, this is what the successful students will do. They know which study sessions are intense. For example, when you're studying intense subjects that needs a lot of numbers, you don't obviously want to play Sudoku during your rest time because that's still dealing with numbers and it feels like you are continuing working and not resting. So what they do is they plan out activities, the games that they play, see these videos that keeps them sharp, or they have other activities that helps them unwind from intense study sessions. For example, if the study session was very intense, they will not play a game that will boost their sharpness or their focus, but rather they will take a walk that physically boosts them and relaxes them, getting them ready for the next session, or they will just sit and meditate to process what they've learned in the last session so that they get ready and refreshed for the next session. But if the study sessions was light, like they were doing a light subject, or a subject that they're familiar with, or a module that they've listened throughout the class and they know what this is about, they've got a good grasp of it, then what the students will do is then they will take the rest from the reading or from that intake of that information and just play a game that keeps their mind sharp so that their mind does not shut down in between the two sessions while getting ready for the next session, whether that will be intense or not. But the fact is the activity that you put in between your rest matters. So it could be playing a game that's boosting your brain power, or it could be taking a walk or meditation just to unwind and move from an intense session to a less intense one, or from an intense to the next intense one, depending on what is appropriate those two sessions. All of this, lovelies, requires proper planning and a very structured plan. So it's not enough to know that you should balance productivity and rest and what activities you must put in between. What matters is the time management and the structured planning. So if you want to learn how to plan your schedules, how to plan your study sessions, how to plan your whole academic semester, then click on this video that is appearing on your screen right now, because this is the video that will show you a step-by-step blueprint plan template that you can use and apply to your own study sessions. So what are you waiting for? Click on this video and I will see you there in a few seconds as I project to you love and grace in a way of 2 Corinthians 13 verse 14.